We latch onto our childhood when we reach adulthood. We love the feeling of nostalgia and creating relationships based on the things we loved. As we grow up, we put our childhood loves on the back burner because we are afraid of how others will perceive us. However, for me, when I got to college, I was fine with talking about the things I loved as a kid. And one thing that always came up was the love of SpongeBob SquarePants. It's funny how a show that has been on the air for almost 20 years is still viewed as a treasure, but also loved by so many people. SpongeBob made not only my childhood, but also several others. That is what made this morning a little harder for me when I found out that the brilliant man who created SpongeBob SquarePants lost his battle with ALS. There are so many approaches I can take with this article. I can talk about how Steven Hillenburg combined his love of marine biology and art to create one of the best television programs of the 1990s and 2000s, or how so many people loved his show, but I want to focus on something different. When I was a kid, my dad told me the story of when he met Leonard Nimoy at an event. Nimoy was best known for his role as Spock on Star Trek, and at the end of the event, people approached Nimoy and said how much they loved him in Star Trek. When it was my dad's turn to meet Nimoy, instead of saying something about Spock, my father said, "I really enjoyed your book, Mr. Nimoy." Being the 8-year-old I asked my dad why he said something like, in which he responded with, "I want to say something different and show him that I saw him more than just a TV character or actor." Looking back on this story, I can attribute this to how I view Hillenburg. People always remember Hillenburg for SpongeBob and how many lives he changed, but I'll remember him for all the laughs and impressions he left on everyone. Hillenburg was an innovator and created something nobody had ever done before. He wanted to make the sea fun for children and did exactly that. He took a big gamble and made something that will last for everyone of different ages. At several parties I've gone to in college, SpongeBob is always a topic of discussion, and I would not change it for anything. Thank you, Steven Hillenberg, for the conversation starter for people who don't know how to start one. Thank you for giving the children and now adults something to connect over. Most importantly, thank you for everything you did with SpongeBob and outside of SpongeBob. Something that people might have been hesitant to have gotten involved in turned out to be bigger than expected. SpongeBob teaches us lessons that we might not realize, but he also displays happiness and support to everyone, even if Squidward is not a fan. You used your imagination, something